It's Guido coming at you with a coffee talk we missed last week. Good morning, Pilgrim.
Good morning, Guido. Good morning to everybody. Yeah, happy days. We're back online again. Last week was a break for the Easter eggs and the Easter craziness that goes
How was your
on.
Easter? How'd that go?
That was good. Yeah, it was good. We had the family round, who let me out of house and home as usual when they come round. Just I've got empty fridges, empty store cupboards, empty larders, and everything once they've gone. So it's crazy. We had a bit of a bike ride out. So yeah, it was a good sort of relaxing weekend. Yeah, a couple of days off work as well. So that was nice.
We have to describe to everybody what you told me about the bike ride, because it was
this morning.
It was a happy accident, I think.
Well, I got a sort of sideways glance last night from the house general, and she basically said to me, "Are you out on your bike tomorrow?" I went, "No."
So at that moment, you were like, "Oh no."
Yes.
Am I going to be told I can't? Am I going to be told we're going somewhere and I'm not going to be able to do anything like that? Not that you were necessarily planning it, but you're like, oh, but what? These questions from the House General are loaded, and I get in trouble for reacting badly because I assume it's loaded. And then she's like, well, I just want to know. I'm like, right.
No question from the House General that starts with things like, what are you doing tomorrow?
Right.
Are you? They're never not loaded, are they?
She's like, are you off tomorrow? I'm like, why do you want to know? She's like, what? You don't have to react badly. I just want to know. I'm like, no, you don't. You have something for me to do.
Exactly. There is a plan.
Yeah.
There is a plan. So anyway, this sideways glance. Are you off on your bike tomorrow morning? I went, not particularly. No, I said we've got the stream on, so I've got to be in for that. And so I was just planning on just chilling a bit. She went, what time's the stream? So I said, well, it's normally for us, it's 1 o'clock. I said, so, and she goes, oh, that means you've got all morning then, haven't you? And I went, I've got a feeling something's going on here.
When she said, because she's got you now by the schnoz, when she said what time, she knows dang well what time it is.
Absolutely, she knows.
So this is, it's a wife thing, but it's also what I've learned, a teacher thing. The leading questions are making you start to feel like this is your idea.
Yeah. Or backing you into a corner that you can't get out of.
Right.
That's the other thing. So,
yep.
And I went, right, so what have you got planned? What have you got planned?
Yeah, right.
I was burbling like that. I was
just tell me what I'm doing.
Just tell me what I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah.
And she went, well, if you go for a bike ride, and I went, yes.
Yeah.
And she said, you can probably get me some stuff that I need. This is the word, need. I'm like,
need.
Stuff that you need. So like oxygen or water or... She went, no, I need some more lavender. Oh, where's this going? Wait, you could ride to the lavender farm, couldn't you? That's a nice ride down the coast. I went, it is. You're right. It's a nice ride down the coast. Now, I've got an Indian without saddlebags or anything else. And I'm like thinking, if she wants me to buy lavender, where am I going to stick all this stuff? I can't carry it. So she goes, yeah, I just need 5 more lavender plants.
5.
And I went, 5. And I said, so you want me to ride my bike early morning in down to the coast to buy you 5 lavender plants from the lavender farm, attempt to try and carry them back while having to ride my motorbike.
Very slowly, so you don't ruffle them too much.
Very slowly, yeah. She's like, you can put them in a bag. I went, what, like a shopping bag and hang it off the handlebars? You know what I mean? She's like, well, however you do it, just... Okay, all right, so I went, I'll go, and I've got like a slouch bag, that I go over.
Yeah.
Right, so I said, I'll put it in the slouch bag, that'll be fine. I'll go for a nice little ride. So then, I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll ping our friend, Dougie, who also rides with me. He's a member of the custodians.
Because he's got saddlebags.
Well, he's got saddlebags and everything, you know what I mean? He's got the works. So I pinged him last night. I said, what are you doing in the morning, brother? And he pinged me back, why, what's going on? I said, fancy a bit of a ride out. Maybe, down the coast somewhere, whatever. The sun's going to be shining. So he's like, yeah, okay, I'll meet you. RV at the normal RV at 9 o'clock. So I went, yeah, okay, that's cool. So I met him there at 9 o'clock. I said, I'll lead the way. He didn't even know where we were going. I'll lead the way. We'll just go down the coast. So we set off, and about a third of the way in, he overtook me, pulled me over. Because we don't have comms, so he pulled me over. He waved me down, so we pulled over, and he went, this looks suspiciously like the road to the lavender farm. I said, really? Is it?
I had noticed.
Took him there. We got some photographs done. So I put it up on the custodian's WhatsApp channel as a recce for the next pack ride. So I'm going to take 30 hairy arse bikers to the lavender farm with all the old dudes walking around with their walkers and everything. They'll scare the life out of them, weren't they?
Were you wearing your jacket?
Yeah.
Oh, so you two clowns rolled up with their jackets on.
Yeah.
Just looking as hard as the.
Flicking through all the lavender to pick the right one.
Oh yeah, well.
I was on the phone to the house channel. We don't have any Miss Catherines. Would you like some pink ladies? Hard as nails. Like some pink ladies.
Yeah, you are some absolute gangsters. That was a gangster ride right there.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Good morning, O'Brute.
I'm not allowed to say what the answers on the WhatsApp chat channel was, because none of it is allowed on this channel.
You were hopefully appropriately scolded, shall we say?
Yes. Well, the president said that I have to have a personal word with him next time we meet. And I'm his enforcer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think there's anything scarier than an enforcer that will shop for lavender.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you might.
Touch with my feminine side.
I mean, that guy might be a little touched, so you might want to leave him alone.
That's probably the reason they made me an enforcer.
Morning, Gator, O'Brute, Wayne, Stickler, Cliffy, 8th Hussers, Grendel, Jimmy, Cliffy, Kedge. How's everybody doing? Jimmy, thanks for the sub, man. Much appreciated. Zimbo's in the house as well. Hope you guys have had a fantastic couple weeks. I hope your Easter was good. I hope if you have to buy lavender, you get to ride your motorcycle there. I mean, I can't think of a better way to do a bad situation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yes, exactly that. It was that was the saving grace to going to the lavender farm yet again. I just wish we didn't live so close to the lavender farm. That's all.
Yeah, well, see, that was the thing I was thinking about. We were doing it. I mean, on the one hand, it's the best result for going there. On the other hand, it seems to be a bit of a precedent.
Doesn't
now,
it just? Yeah.
Do you want saddlebags?
No.
Oh.
Well, see, I've got another motorbike. I've got a motorbike that I use for work and camping. It's a winter hack. So I've got a Honda NC750.
You bought another bike.
Yeah, just for that particular reason. But I don't use it on ride outs, you know what I mean? It's
right.
Not hard enough. It's not.
But it's got bags and stuff.
Enough, is it? It's an NC750. It's got saddlebags and stuff.
Oh well, there you go.
No, not even you.
So if you really have to do some cargo hauling, you can get that one out.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But if you ever mention it to the house down there, you're a dead man walking.
You know, he does have a cargo vehicle that he could use.
Yeah, just you shush now.
Where was the lavender exactly? In a bag? Or Dougie put it in his saddlebags?
No, he wouldn't put it in his saddlebag.
Because he's not dumb.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm not putting that in there because if his house general finds out he can carry flowers in his saddlebag, he'll be stuck like me.
This whole thing is fraught.
It
is fraught.
It is terrible.
With all. Oh man, yeah. So I've had a pretty good 2 weeks.
Cool.
We had a good Easter. Had the crew was in town, so that was good in various phases because the daughter had to get back for. I was telling you about her first business trip she just did. That all went well.
Amazing, yeah.
So that was good. I got a little bit of time to play. I have roughly finished the remodel.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you could say it's.
How far off? How far off are we talking now?
I would say it's 99.99. The stuff we hired him to do is done. There's one extra little project we're gonna have his tile guy do because I don't want to arse with it. I gotta do a couple things on the mantle. I got a piece of oak that I bought and I have to put in, so that now I've got the space for the tile that I don't want to deal with, and then that guy will come in and do some tile work, and then we're done with that. Oh, here's a big thing.
That is good. All right.
Remember the hole in the roof of the shed that's been there for 7 years since the hurricane?
Yes. Yes.
Fixed it yesterday, finally.
Get out.
Yep. I was at the big box store buying. You know, sometimes you go to the hardware store and you have like two things you need, and then you start wandering around like, I need one of them. Oh yeah, that. I'm gonna need that. I need that for that project. I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing that. I'm like, let me go look at the stupid corrugated steel and see what I can find. I went out there and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy a couple 3 sheets. So I bought 3 sheets, and I wasn't even sure it was the right gauge, or no, gauge is thickness, the right width, I guess, from the peak to the valley.
I got you.
I'm assuming they're kind of
wibbly wobbly was it?
Yeah, what's the wibbly wobbly direction or amount? I'm like, they have to be kind of standard, and they're not that expensive. So I grabbed like 2 or 3 sheets. Turns out they were fine. It was too long, but it was both too long and not long enough. It was too long for one side, which is good because I needed to fold it over. Otherwise, I have to have a cap, which I don't have, a crown cap, which I don't have on this one.
Okay.
But it wasn't long enough to go all the way over to the other side, so it goes up and
so
over.
like half the other side.
But it covers the hole on the downward slope.
Yeah.
So, and I bought some self-tapping screws, put that back in, took the old ones out, put those in. Like, you know what? It kind of looks dopey, but it's under a tree back in the edge of the yard. It's the crappy old shed. I don't care.
No, but it's waterproof again.
Well,
To some extent.
I would say ish, but it doesn't have a hole that size
Right.
on the roof, which was very definitely letting water. And I had a bucket underneath it to catch the water.
Okay, so I mean, technically that's job done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I probably have to watch for that, Jimmy, because I just put it over top of the old. But it's pretty thin. I mean, they have to be kind of flat wasps.
I'm not sure you get flat one.
I've got I do have some. We have a fence on the side of the house and posts, 4x4 posts, and I think they're probably old screw holes, drill holes, for the old version. I have changed the planking around a little bit, and it was drilled on the side. So I think I've told this story before, but I was out there a couple summers ago, and I was doing something with the planking because one of them had come up, and I was drilling some of the planks back down and messing around with that, fixing the fence. And I thought as I moved the plank that I had caught myself on a nail or a screw. I looked down at my hand, and I'm like, oh, then I saw something flying, and then I got hit in the back of the neck. I'm like, oh shit. And then I got, there's wasps all over me. I'm running away.
Yeah.
And the stupid things come back every year, so I got to get in there. I thought I filled it up with, that foam.
I'm sure you said you filled it right up with something.
I think they dig back through that stuff.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, do they go back to the I don't know, man. It's weird.
The trouble is, if you've got pheromones all over that place, they'll know it's a nest site, and they'll go back to it, won't they? So, yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy, we've nuked it several times every year, and unfortunately, my neighbor's granddaughter got hit by one of them, and she has several nests around her house all the time that she's always battling, but she has like 5 cans of the wasp. she's out there dual wielding sometimes, blasting stuff. Yeah, probably, Clippy.
Yeah.
So did that. A couple other home improvement things, I guess, but nothing really to speak of.
So, what percentage are we talking now that the house completion project is done? Are we talking?
Well, that
90s?
that whole remodel is 99.99. It's for all intents and purposes, like I was saying, it's 100% based on what we wanted him to do. I have some touch-up paint things to do because, like everything, it gets nicked, and the painter guy left me. I've got a can of each of the trim and the wall paint. So, and I'm gonna redo some trim and some other stuff myself. So it's nice to have the paint. It's pretty cool. Have you
But
seen?
it-
Go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say how they do paint these days is crazy.
No.
Well, you just take a chip of the color and they take a little magic.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. When you take it down to the paint store, you mean?
Yeah.
They can put it on the computer and tell you exactly what makes that thing.
I told my neighbor that she came over. She's divorcee, and her and the wife were chatting, having a glass of wine, and she had a purple. She's a very eccentric person. She had a purple sweater on. She goes, I want to make
Nothing
my.
wrong with purple.
Well,
Nothing
she's
with purple.
that's
Yeah.
good point. Good point. But she said, I want to paint my bedroom purple. I'm like, well, first of all, that's not a great idea, but whatever, you do you. And I want it to be the color of this sweater.
Right.
And I said, well, just go wear that sweater down to the paint store. They'll zap it, get the color, and mix you up a can right there. She's like, what? They can do that? I'm like, oh yeah, just take your. She did that. She went down there. Just the guys. She says, I want some purple paint. He goes, all right, what color? She said, this. He's like, all right.
I love it. Absolutely love it. What a good idea. But yeah, rather odd though. But there you
Yeah,
go.
and it is purple. It's like honestly, it's like a 12-year-old's room. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, and here's why I know that. Me, her, and my wife are in there, and again, settle down. She comes over and says she was trying to hook up her TV again. So she'd moved some furniture around because of the painting and then was
Okay.
redoing stuff. She's got a little TV sitting on a chest of drawers,
Yeah.
and she couldn't figure out how to kind of get the cable into it
Right.
because it was short. She wondered if I could pull it out a little bit or move it around or figure out how to do that or get an extension. So we all go over there. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, so do you have
We all go over.
Yeah. So I look at her and I said, do you have cable? And she goes, oh yeah, I get the internet. I have like cable channel stuff. I understand that, but how do you get it? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, you have Wi-Fi in your room, in your house, right? Yes. I can hook up to my Wi-Fi. My kids do it for me. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, so do you also have a hard cable connect? Do you get cable? Do you have a cable box? Do you have, what, do you have that? And she goes, well, I don't know. And I said, is this TV Wi-Fi cable? I don't know. I'm like, okay. Give me, where's the remote? I didn't plug the cable in because it was not reaching. I was going to have to do some kind of extension or whatever. So I turn on her TV. Immediately comes up to, it's a Roku.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you got Roku then? Like, I don't know, maybe. I'm like, well, apparently do. So I go to the different channels and stuff. They all work. I go to the I'm like, okay, this TV is hooked up to Wi-Fi, darling.
Yeah.
You don't need the cable.
You don't need the cable. Maybe it's hooked up to your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You don't even know it.
Yeah, it could be. And she's like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean,
Take the cable away.
she just doesn't know, man. She has no idea what any of it means.
Oh,
And I know her two daughters. They crack me up because they're just like, oh my gosh. Like, well, this is
To be fair to that poor lady, it is, as technology has moved forward, it's quite difficult to keep up to speed with it at times. Isn't
True.
It? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, we've got TVs which are Wi-Fi enabled, and so you don't think twice about it. But we've also got a hardwired cable for the terrestrial TV, the BBC, the license payment and all that. But most of what we now watch is Wi-Fi. But if you'd asked me, even 5 years ago, is your TV Wi-Fi enabled? I would have gone, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a cable I stick in it.
Yeah.
Yep. All good. All right, let's see. Channel news wise, I have finished 2 tanks.
Okay.
I finished the LKPZ 70, which actually has a pretty good win rate globally. It's like the 4th or 5th tier 8 light tank in win rate, but it's not played by much, and it is played by pretty good players. So I finished that thing. Let's see how we did. 52%. It's good considering I was in the 40s for most of my run on it. 100 battles, 52%, 876 experience, which is not great.
Right.
67% hit rate. I am noticing, and I don't know if it's my playstyle or getting older or both, probably both. My hit percentage tends to be lower than average on tanks, which is weird. All my other numbers tend to be higher. My hit percentage is lower.
How does that work then?
I don't know.
Because if your hit percentage is lower, then well, it must mean every hit you make, you're making more damage then.
No, because generally my battles survived is much higher than average, which means I last longer. So I take more shots. Could be blind fire stuff. Yeah, I do that a bit. Yeah, maybe Cliffy, maybe. It's an interesting thing I've started to notice, and I haven't really looked at it because it's not across the board. I've noticed it lately, is why I'm saying it mostly. I do have tanks where I have very good stats and a higher hit percentage, so don't know.
Yeah.
And maybe my game's evolved and I do take more blind shots now. I'd probably say that's probably true. Not much armor use. Efficiency, damage ratio 1.48, 1.67. I did end up one marking it. I'm sitting at 71%. Not fantastic. 1,300 damage, 835 assist. So not bad. And then the other one is I finished the Type 63.
Oh, okay, how did that go?
I ended up liking this tank quite a bit.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's one of those that you like or don't. I struggle with it, to be honest. I struggle with everything.
Well, the palsy could definitely be the palsy for sure. The yips, yeah. Yep. Most of the tanks have high DPM, have low hit rates because they take a ton of blind shots. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be. Almost a 999, so for all intents and purposes, 1,000 experience, 57% win rate. We got a 70% hit rate, 43% battles survived, 1.27 damage, 1.84 destruction. The damage ratio is low because, in fact, my damage caused is pretty low for a tier 8 for me. 1,679 is low for a heavy. Still had good results at 57%. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest. The armor use efficiency is okay at 0.36.
Well, that'll tie in with your survival rate as well, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
So even though your damage is lower, if you're surviving,
you're around for the end game to make sure you win.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I liked it. I thought it's a pretty strong tank. Hold down, it's quite nice. Is it the cooling that makes the pipper jump when it cools? I'm not sure what that is.
That was the bug. That was the bug, wasn't it? It was.
It's still kind of there though. There's still some
it?
weirdness with the Type 63, and does it have hydraulics? It may have both. I don't remember if it has hydraulics. Well, it shrinks, but it also looks like it moves. I don't know.
Moves, yeah.
Cliffy, to me, it looks like it moves. It jumps or moves. I don't know. This tank doesn't have hydraulics, though, right?
No, it doesn't.
No, it's just the cooling thing.
It's just the cooling thing. It cools down, doesn't it?
And there's a weirdness. There's just a weirdness with the gun when it does that, and at least visually, especially if you're zoomed in.
Yeah.
And I'm zoomed in a lot. So it just felt like there was always this weirdness right when it did it, and it threw me off on a couple times. Yeah, I don't know, Kedge, but I noticed it definitely with this thing. And I think it might be when I'm zoomed in and it decreases, it looks like it's moving, but it's not. I don't know. Strange. I'll have to try to find maybe an example of it in a replay. So I finished those two, and we are on to, let's see, what are we working on now? Got several tanks now in the hopper.
What's your rationale for choosing your next two?
I'm usually playing 4 or 5 at a time that are kind of in the main rotation, and there's no rhyme or reason. I usually try to have one of each kind: a medium, a TD, a light, and a heavy.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've run out of lights. But because I'm still trying to crank up the Mana Core to the 5th most played in my garage, and I'm about 80 games away from that, so it's in the rotation. And plus, I like it. So the Mana Core is now my only light in rotation. So I've got the XM57, which is just a stupidly overpowered tank. It's dumb. Yeah, Cliffy, exactly.
But yeah.
This is pretty good. The AAT-60. I really like this tank.
Oh, well,
It's
that's
just
good.
a good all-rounder. Good all-rounder. So I've got that. I've got the X, and my heavies are the Tiger Mouse.
Yeah.
And I think I'm bringing. So those are my main 4: Manicore, Tiger Mouse, XM, and AAT-60. I am playing the.
At this moment.
Yeah, at this moment. Yeah, so I'll just kind of keep playing those until I get to 100 and move to another one.
Yeah.
It used to be limited somewhat by how much bounty equipment I had, because I've got bounty equipment on a lot of stuff, on all this stuff that I'm doing the 100 Battle Challenge on, so I can try hard in it. But I looked at that the other day, and I kitted out a bunch of this stuff in my carousel that is all kitted out in bounty. All these tanks in my carousel are in my list right now, but I'm not playing every one of them. You know, the Sherman, the Crocodile, and the Chopper. Where's the other tier 6? Crocodile. Oh, I finished one of them actually. So the Sherman, Crocodile, and the Chopper. Those are the Chopper's the 1 tier 7 I haven't got to 100, and the 2 tier 6s are the Crocodile and Sherman. But I maxed their points out, so they're waiting for the next battle pass.
Right, got you.
There you go. So that's what's going on with all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, this thing's dumb though. This is a really dumb tank. That's just.
Oh, bless it.
Yesterday I got into a game, top tier game, 3 tiers, and there was only 2 tier 8s on each side, and I was one of the 2 on my side.
Good grief.
Yeah,
Good grief.
yeah. And it was me, I think a T-28. Now the enemy had a platoon of XM-57s, but they weren't that good, so we kind of tore them up and then ate everything alive.
It's just it's yeah. Let's say it is in good hands. It's a stupid tank.
It is. It's just overpowered.
It's just crazy overpowered. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially close in. It's just a monster. Yeah. If you can hit what you're aiming at, it's really good. That's that. Missions and specials, man. Shall we chill?
We should chill. Chill. We can chill as
We're
well.
chilling. And chilling.
You've still got the old slow batteries, haven't you?
Yep.
You've still got them.
Wonder how long that would go. What do you think? What's the over/under on the battery?
I think you've got another 6 months out of that.
Easily. I mean, it only gets used once a week.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't put it on your truck when you're trying to overtake.
Oh, that's illegal.
Get past on the freeway.
That's illegal. Oh yeah, in the States you can't have blue or red lights.
I think that's the same in the UK, but
Or white, I think.
Oh, okay.
Red, white, and blue, fellas. I think that's it. You can have yellow.
Yellow is like every road maintenance vehicle.
Right.
Yellow, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's illegal to have those if you're not a cop.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could have it in your car. It's illegal to turn them on.
Just stick it on the back of my motorbike. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
With
Afternoon, Eric Glass.
put it in there with the lavender.
Put it in there with the lavender. Yeah. It's emergency lavender.
You never know, man. It might come in handy. You might need that stuff.
I'm pretty sure not.
Okay. Premio Shop. I just saw it's on Armored Patrol. You might be able to check this. Are you in your EU client?
No, I'm in NA, but I can go to EU as well.
They said there's new tanks for sale on EU.
Well,
We don't have that.
All right, let me. I'll come out. It'll take me 2 minutes.
Because I checked our tanks up here. Vehicles. So is mine, Grendel. All I have is this T127 and the old standards. The FCM, the Lurva. In fact, the rental things are all gone. There was a bunch of rentals in here last few weeks. Those are all gone. Featured is just the AMX-30 and the Caliban. So that's all that's going on there. Battle Pass stuff, nothing. Gold, these are all the same. Nothing new on the gold. Vehicles we talked about.
So they reckon we're in the premium shop. They've got new tanks.
Yeah, under vehicles tab. Do you have anything? What do you have in there? Anything
I'm
interesting?
just loading in now. We'll have a look.
I think the article's further. I don't remember what they said it was.
Hasn't Discord got very intrusive these days? It keeps wanting to do an overlay on the game. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I think you can turn that off. Go into the you
Okay.
can go into the settings and turn that garbage off.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
It keeps coming up with what we're streaming now. It keeps popping that onto the game.
Yeah.
You and me side by side in the game. That's cool. Need to stop that. Hang on. There we go. Stop that. Right. It just takes a little bit to load up. But anyway. Homebrute's free gift disappeared. And
So did mine. Mine's gone.
What happened there?
I don't know. I don't get it anymore. Someone said that in
Why?
Discord, and I looked for it, and I've been doing it for the last couple weeks. Does anybody else still have it?
It can't be the amount of times you play, because that was one suggestion, that if you stop playing for a few days or a week or two, you lose that. Or spending, maybe.
But I spend nothing, Kedge. I haven't spent anything in this game, and well, that's not true. I've done a couple of the battle pass things along the way. Zimbos is gone. 2 weeks for Grendel. So
Yeah.
I think it's gone. I don't think anyone has it. If anyone has it, sing out. But I think it's gone. For whatever reason. Plus, as someone just said, Cliffy, we're closing. Who said that? Shut it. No, Gunner's human. Yes, we're shutting down. More to come on that a little while later. They're kind of an interesting thing, sort of attached to that, maybe. Yeah, nothing going on in the store, fellas. In fact, there's really not a whole lot going on, missions and specials at all.
I'll come back to it's loading. It takes its time.
Okay.
It takes longer to get into an EU server than it does the NA server.
Actually, I'm sorry. I steered you wrong. What you really need to look at is the website, the EU website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Look at the.
No, that's cool. It's my fault.
Nope, mine. I told you, client. Yeah, look in the store on the EU. So we go to missions and specials, guys. It's just we're doing battle pass. That's pretty much. I'm on stage 34 of chapter 2. Pilgrim, where are you?
I am stage 7 on chapter 2.
Stage
at this
7.
moment in time.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm a little way off.
moving along.
So, yeah, I'm sort of like I'm struggling to get time to play purely because of this evening shift business. Whereas normally I do
Yeah, right.
4 hours each evening. Yeah, it's let's have a look now. Where are we at? Yeah, getting yeah, it's coming up now.
Carving out
Getting
time.
so it's weekends and Fridays really.
Right.
Yeah, I've got less games under the belt now.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll get there. You can just keep plodding away. Right, so we reckon under featured, did you say?
It would be vehicles.
Under vehicles, okay. Well, let's have a look.
Error glass
So-
can confirm nothing. Can confirm nothing. Oh, copy. You don't have anything. Yep. All right.
WZ114, Chieftain P,
There you go.
Scorpion Senlac, Mutz, FCM, Vipera, M41D, blah blah blah. I mean,
Those are all for sale.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. We don't have that on NA. We don't have any
You
of
don't
those.
have it.
No, are those under permanent offers?
Yeah, they are.
Wow. Check it out, guys. Yeah.
I tell you what, I've got 4 coupons sat in the garage that I'm not.
You know what?
I'm not what?
Are some of them a Autobots versus Decepticons and Transformers?
Autobots and Transformers, yeah.
Why are those still there? I don't understand that.
80% discount. Oh, World of Warships, that's why.
Oh,
So
there you
So they're
go.
adding them in. Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
That's interesting.
How did you find out it was World of Warships? You clicked on it?
No, the.
Oh, the symbol. You're right.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at that. Okay, that explains it. That explains it. Tiger
Get
Mouse.
out of that.
And the Tiger Mouse is for sale as well. It updated on your end? On NA? Well, that's interesting. I wonder if I refresh or something, if it'll show up. EU, okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, there you go. Strange things are afoot.
It feels that way, doesn't it? It feels like slightly missing out on something on the NA for some reason. I don't know how true, but it certainly feels like things are.
Odd Dog is losing. He's slowing. You're slowing down. Your energy is being sapped. But you have to finish, Odd Dog.
We got front line coming, haven't we? You see?
Yeah, you have to finish. You have to finish. FOMO.
You have to finish. Yes,
Yeah.
You have to finish.
There's no. You must finish. All right. Assembly shop. Did you know that was going on?
I did, yes, and unfortunately, I just don't have enough resources to even try on either account. I mean, I've probably got enough on my NA account, but I don't want to skint it just to get what is, in my opinion, an okay-ish tank on both parts. I know the Lion is a slightly better thought of tank than the Object, but either one. I mean, if there was something particular about either one that was eye-catching, maybe I would use the resources.
You know what's interesting about what you said is in general, I agree with that. That I think people kind of think think better of the Lion, but I think the Object 780 is kind of a slightly better tank at tier and type.
What's the stat say?
Well, the 780 here is, I don't know, 15th, 12th.
Okay.
Although good players play it.
Okay.
Maybe slightly less now that more have bought it. But, so that's an interesting stat there. It's not played a whole bunch because there aren't a whole lot of them out there. There's a decent amount. But and if we go to the Lion, it's... in the middle, although it's kind of the same thing. Pretty good players play it, and it's got a good win rate. It is minus 3.29 though win rate differential. So I mean the results, 52.63 average percent win rate, but only getting a 49.37 average global win rate out of it, but a pretty high win rate because it's the auto loader reloader thing.
Yeah, because the order. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I don't think either one of them is, super top dog. The 780 is kind of a bog standard Russian heavy with good turret and decent hull armor and all that kind of crap.
For me, for these assembly tanks, it's not so much about are they overpowered. Well, it is if they were overpowered, but it's more to do what is the unique thing about these tanks that makes me want to throw all my resources at it. And to be honest. Yeah. I don't think they've actually had a tank on assembly that floats my boat that much,
Well, the DBV was assembly, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And people seem to really like that one.
Yeah.
Let's see where it lives in battles. Yeah, it's still number 1 on NA and number of battles.
Yeah.
And that's been a while ago, so it's a very popular tank. In fact, I'll tell you what, for a tier 10, that's pretty good. Because
that's true for tier 10, yeah.
It's a relatively low win rate differential. Now it's down here win rate, but its win 8 is pretty decent. For a tank that you just assemble and there's not a special way to get it like the Phoenix or the SP, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks like the Ho-Ri didn't take a big hit. When was the debuff on that though? Was that just this last?
I think it was the last update, wasn't it?
Okay, so we don't have a whole month of that yet, so
no.
We'll see where it goes. Phoenix, jeez. It's crazy. Player win rate. Look at the win rate average of the Phoenix for the players, 55%. Is EU the same?
Good grief.
pretty damn close. The Phoenix is the #1 on EU. No kidding. That's crazy.
That is crazy, isn't it?
I don't see many of them though.
No, to be honest, neither do I on the EU either. So I don't know where that stat comes from. But hey, it's there.
Yeah, there's not. They don't have many games, but they do pretty well. They do pretty well. Yeah. So Assembly Shop. Some of you guys chatting in. Lions a sniper medium. Yeah. It's a succubus. Eats resources. Yeah. Anytime I've come to the conclusion, anytime you see sort of a random free experience sale show up, there something like that is hot on its heels. Something to use free experience.
Well, you did say that, didn't you? Because it
Yeah.
was. I think they offered the XP conversion at the highest rate they've ever offered.
Yeah, 1 to 50.
Was it? What if? Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And he obviously knows something coming after that.
Yeah, and there was no advertisement as to what exactly that
no
might be.
publicity attached
Yeah.
to that, was
Yeah.
it? No.
Possible phone call.
Nope.
All right.
Let me get rid of it. There you go. Got rid of it.
I like it because it uses stuff that costs me nothing, and I would agree in general, Grendel. I mean, they don't bother me. It's not like, I suppose you could buy gold and then convert a bunch of free experience for gold. I'm sure people do that, but I think a lot of people don't have to. And I'm at the part of the game where I just collect that stuff. All of the fragments don't do anything for me. Good point, Gator. It could be the Lavender Farm calling that his special order is in.
It could be. I'm happy to reply to it.
I'd like to speak to you about your lavender warranty. All right, so I think that's it for missions and specials, guys. Other than Neon Dash, has anybody done Neon Dash?
Well, I looked at it, and you know what? I might try it on the EU account, just see what it's like. But I'm not gonna focus too much on it.
Is it a race? Is that the deal?
I've no idea. I saw it coming up, and I thought, well, if it was like, remember they had those crazy cars race type things. Yeah, if it's like that, I'll give it a push. Just see what it's like.
Oh yeah, it's one of these. Yeah, it looks like the train moves around and.
So it's just like speed as fast as you can. Oh, okay, I see it on your screen. Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe
30 player destruction derby. Block, ram, and shoot. Impulse shells. Select your tuned tank.
I've just got off it actually, watching that now.
So there's free XP, some bonds, some credits, random reward. Credits, reserves, premium, some components, free XP, expirable stuff, 400 components, and there are some battle pass points, so you can get 50 battle pass points.
I mean, if you've got a spare half hour, you just want to mess about with it, yeah, absolutely, but I'll probably not do it now.
I just used a bunch of my components. I upgraded a couple things and more. I had like 6,000 saved up. Man, you can burn through those components so fast. You make you make 2 or 3 tier 3 things, and you got nothing left.
Yeah.
You got nothing.
I'm sort of tempted to sort of break it all down and just have loads of components and just build up a couple of mega sets. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's exactly what I did.
All down, can't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I kept one of. Generally, I try to keep one of each to build up, unless I've got one sitting around already at a 3, and I don't need another one at the moment. And I'll just break everything I get down, and other than one of each type, and I'll continue to build that type up. Yep, that is. I think that's the right answer. Okay, let's go on to subjects du jour, and we shall start with what's on my list. Oh, tank coach. This was actually not bad, fellas. This was not bad, no. And it was like, let me do this so it's in the right space. Put this into headphones. Ooh, that's loud.
What's up, tankers? Let's get our teeth into the best scouts and raiders on tracks, or wheels. That's right, light tanks.
Yeah.
They're raiders.
To get the most from these nippy little vehicles,
I tell you, it's quite interesting this because I've got obviously on Discord it's real time. On stream it's a couple of seconds because that's the stream delay on that you're doing.
Yeah.
But also there's a couple of second delay as well because of the distance.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. I can hear you talking in real time and then there's stuff going on.
Right.
It's-
Not related to
it's
what
like
I'm talking
a time
about.
warp. Yeah, yeah. It's like a time warp thing. It's quite cool.
They're nippy little vehicles.
You can say nippy, can't you? I'm
I-
sure you can.
They didn't say nipply, they said nippy.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine.
They just-
Rendell, stop stirring the pot. Behave yourself.
I don't even know why you use that word. Anyway.
you'll need to practice and to brush up on view
I
range
don't know.
and concealment. Not long ago, we did some videos about those, so check them out if you need to.
The Chuckakor. Now, did I wait long enough for you to get for the what I said to fit what was on the screen?
No. I'm still. Now! How long it takes? Now!
All right.
The links are in the description.
Yeah.
Lights are often quick and tricky to spot, and they can have high caliber howitzers or even autocannons.
Doesn't make any difference.
Doesn't make.
Low tier lights
No, it doesn't make any
have
difference.
rolls,
I've just seen
and
you
calling
laughing
them
about the
scouts
Chuckakor.
would be a stretch.
It's crazy, isn't it?
They're versatile, and their
Now we're looking at
characteristics
two
can
barrels.
vary a lot.
Now we're in a
And so
diamond
can
shape.
their armor. You can fight in them like a medium or sometimes even a heavy tank.
No. What
From
I
about tier-
quite like them all that. That's a bit of craziness, isn't it?
5
Yeah.
or 6 upward, that's
Yeah.
no longer the case. At that point, you start getting some real niche specialists.
You can't get to that bush from that
Not
side.
anymore. You can. No, absolutely can't.
Not without being seen.
No. But
There's
tell
some
you what,
behind it you can get to.
Yeah.
It drives me.
No,
Go ahead.
no, go on.
I was just gonna say it drives me crazy when they give examples that aren't realistic in game. Like the reality of this is nobody can get. You can't get to. Maybe
Right,
at this
that's close.
tier because it's. I think this is the tier 6 tank. Yeah, there's tier 6. Maybe at this tier. Well, yes.
And correspondingly, I mean, certainly if you're at Manticore game level, tier 10 and all that lot, even if you got to a given bush, the burn through at tier 10 with people with all the equipment and everything else on it, you know, sometimes you're almost like having to spot from another 20 yards back just to play the game.
Yeah.
You can't get to places these days. The amount of times that I've gone out on some of the wider maps, not so much proc, but some of the other wider maps, to known bushes or to bushes close to the known bushes, and being spotted before I got there, and my light tank is like maxed out to the maximum with everything, including crew skills. I'm like, somebody has got a better setup than this. How is that happening?
Cliffy, are you saying you get to these bushes from the side this guy was on?
Gosh, that's
Down here?
something else.
Are you talking about these bushes? Or are you talking about the bushes behind you? There are some bushes behind here that you can get to. That's still kind of dangerous, but they're actually really good. Oh, to the right? Yes, over by the buildings. Yeah, there's a couple bushes
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there that are good. Both sides, actually. Both sides. But I think even at this tier, if you put somebody in the behind this bunker and they peek through that little slit, you're probably going to get spotted right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, over on the right, to the right of this guy. But this is unrealistic. Maybe at tier 6. It's an edge case, I guess is what I'm saying. So it drives me crazy that they use these edge cases. I realize what they're trying to show here. It's that your scout got forward and spotted. And maybe late game this can happen, but this looks to be a deployment based on where these two guys are going. So it's not right.
No, it's not right. And also, I mean, this is reality in the game versus fiction in the game, isn't it? So it's a game, but the reality of the game is it never happens like that. Never happens.
Yeah.
They're raiders and
Zimbo,
scouts that spot for teammates.
non-participation
Lights
penalty.
also gain a shared
To be
trait.
honest, I have. But, yeah.
They can move without it affecting their concealment. Whether
Well,
So what's the problem with that statement, which is on its face correct, but also completely incorrect? At tier 6, it's correct, unless the tier 6 is seeing a certain
yeah,
tier.
there's
standing
burn
or
through.
moving, you still
There's
won't
the,
get spotted before the same distance.
The equipment issue.
Right, the CVS.
CVS.
Right? The CVS. That's all well and good, but there's a piece of equipment that makes that dumb.
Yep.
Again, not necessarily at tier 6 unless they're seeing 8s, and they have to be using that piece of equipment. But they've made a statement that if you just watched this video and you're playing with a tier 8 light tank on the other team, you're going to be moving around going, what happened? The guy
Yeah.
sitting still didn't get seen, but I got seen. What's happening?
Yeah.
Details matter.
Class only has 2
Well,
roles.
it does, because if that's
Tracked
a player that
versatile light
has only
tanks.
just reached tier 6, or maybe only just reached tier 8,
Yeah.
and doesn't realise, yeah, absolutely. And then that's where all the exactly gator, that's where all the accusations start flying. Cheaters, hacks, and all the rest of it.
Because it is hacks, man.
Yeah.
I did not realize, this is kind of funny. This part's kind of funny. The light tanks are split into 2 roles. Versatile light tank and a wheeled tank. So apparently a wheeled light tank is a role somehow.
Oh, so they've made it a role now, so they justify having wheeled tanks. That's all it is.
Well, they're just shoehorning their role situation onto the light tanks, which
Yeah.
is funny because it'll say something here in just a second.
And wheeled ones. First, let's deal with the old faithful, and then later
Yeah,
we'll
it's
get
true,
to the
Cliffy.
wheeled
Yeah, I know.
lights and how
Yeah,
they differ
wheels
from
get
their
matched with
tracked
wheels.
classmates.
It's fair enough.
Light tank gameplay depends less on the role and more on your own play style.
Light tank gameplay depends less on the role and more on your play style, which is every tank in the game.
Yeah. State the obvious, why don't you?
So they've spent all this time doing these other videos hyping the role thing, not really mentioning that in this game it's more your playstyle and what needs to happen vice what your role is. The role is probably something that indicates the strength of the tank, but you still have to take all that into consideration. I realize that's a nuanced argument, but now they've done this video and they've shit-canned that argument. And now all of a sudden you're supposed to play to your play style, and there's no roles.
Think of it in terms of passive and active. Passive players settle in and capitalize.
Well, Hitman, that's a good point, actually. Both good points. The tier 6 versus the tier 8 argument, so the 2 tier up and down, and then mediums having CVSs. Maybe if they restricted the CVSs to light tanks only, that would be a partial solution to the whole thing. But yeah,
I think it
yeah,
would, but on the other hand, I like the flexibility. So it's the flexibility versus the CVS is basically a problem. I love it. I'm a light tank player, man. You give me a CVS and in the right
All day
place and
long.
situation, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lights do mirror, but that doesn't mean the other guy's smart enough to put a CVS on. Generally, they are. But if you get a noob that doesn't have a CVS, they're double screwed. I like how this guy knocked the bush down and then sat in it.
Yeah, not obvious to Artie at all, is it?
I didn't know that bush was there, or that tree. I guess it's not a bush; it's a tree. He's turned it into a bush. I didn't even know that thing was there. You got anybody use that? I mean, it's obvious. If you knock it down, probably the 4005 is going to shoot into the bush, and I'm going to disappear.
Yeah. Yeah. I think also, interestingly, and I know we've said this before, but there are bushes that don't even look like bushes that give you a lot more cover than the bushes that look like bushes. I know that sounds nonsensical.
Sometimes. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But when you look at some of the map, it's like a bit of stringy wood and it's actually a huge bush for some reason. You
I
know?
like the bushes that are like that look like the weeds that
Yes,
that are
yeah,
actually
yeah.
a bush, like an even 90 and a
Yeah.
manicore can get in because they're low.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't even know if this has any camo, but it seems to because I'm sitting in it. No one sees me. Not sure. I may have to think about this. This is not a place I go, so I kind of like that. The problem is you have to knock it down, and if someone's paying attention, you might eat some blind shots.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
still,
yeah.
still though.
It is. Yeah, it's high risk, high
Yeah.
reward. That is.
But I don't. This doesn't see a whole lot further than the bush further back, but that one's probably more well known because that one gets blind shot all the time too.
Yeah.
Both sides here have mirror image bushes, kind of that scouts will get into, and people will blind shoot a lot because once you get spotted like these guys, you know what's up. Somebody is in that bush or this bush, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Right, knock it over. Did he knock it over properly? It doesn't seem to. It seems like you needed to go from the left to the right a little more, but I don't
Left to
know.
the right, maybe. Yeah, Zimbo hides a T-103 behind some shrubbery. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, his big face sticking over top. All right.
Is on their concealment. Active ones monopolize the map with their movement. Any light tank can play both ways. You can set yours for either passive, active, or somewhere in between.
I like how that is it a 12T? I think it's a 12T. Was able to drive around this. These three just push, and there's no campers back there.
Yeah, no. Absolutely no campers. Why?
You know what I mean?
Campers
He
in
just
the
like zinging around, and also now he's crossing here. This, I think he'll be seen right here. Maybe he didn't. I don't know, but it's pretty funny.
You can set yours
Yeah.
for either passive, active, or somewhere in
Yeah.
between.
And
I mean,
somebody-
I've used that little island there, in the middle there.
Oh, yeah.
I've used them to good effect, but everybody knows.
Look at this guy. He's like,
Their light bulb above their head. You know exactly where they are, don't you?
that guy's like, someone's shooting me. I don't know where from.
Yeah.
So how do you prepare a scout for battle? First, a lick of paint. Any
So they say a lick of paint, and their guys that have their
camo on a vehicle's hull.
examples had no paint.
Permanent concealment bonus.
Well, there's no
which
camo.
is vital for a
So
light tank.
where's the 3%? You know,
The more,
additional
the
camo,
better.
whatever it is, 3 or 5.
Train
3
crew
or
perks
5% for
that
having camo.
improve view range
Yep,
and
not there.
concealment.
Yeah,
Keep your radio operator on.
that's right. The Oblivious IS-7 is the most realistic part so far. That's a good point. It should have the 100mm on it too, right?
Your
Yeah, it
radar.
should do.
They have a few good perks that are very handy for light tanks.
Oh yeah,
Perks
Ked,
than
that is
slots,
true.
in fact. So choose wisely. As for consumables, food ones will pad you out in all the right areas. View
See, this
range,
is a problem.
concealment,
This is the
and-
problem with putting videos out about your own game. If you're not understanding how the player base plays your game, because instead of it being in an instructional, informative, useful video, it then becomes the butt of every joke of every player that watches it because they're like, "Well, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen."
It could also be a case of us being overcritical because of how much we know. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you consider this from a new player's standpoint, there's a lot of goodness in here. Now there's some definite nuanced stuff that we're complaining about. I don't know how you explain that to, because I'm just being a bit of the devil's advocate here. I'm scoffing with you, but at the same time, you have to consider what that person knows that this thing is aimed at. And they're probably giving all kinds of good info for that person, but there's definitely some nuanced pieces that are missing.
and firepower.
I think as a new
Equipment
player,
can
if
improve
I'd
your
had this
scouting
access to
ability,
this
making you harder
video,
to spot or boost your firepower.
it would.
Mix and
I would
match suits your
suggest it may
playstyle.
well have
A good
improved my
scout will
play
want
earlier.
coded optics
I would
and
agree.
commander's
So,
vision
fair
system mounted.
enough,
For
fair enough,
passive
but it is
spotting
still
or for
funny to
mid-tier
watch
light,
it.
Yeah.
consider binocular telescope. If you want a ninja on tracks, then
And that discussion they just did, which is probably just starting for you, for the equipment was not bad actually. I mean, it is a pretty good idea that your mid-tier stuff can use the binoculars to decent effect. You're not losing that much by getting. Plus, you can't get a CVS at mid-tier, so chucking a binocular on a tier 5 or tier 6 scout actually not that bad of an idea.
now
Well,
low noise
I've
exhaust
sort of
system.
done that.
If you
that,
also
I know
wanna focus
it's like
on
weird
shooting, consider
to have
something
binoculars
like a
because
rammer.
they don't kick in until you sit still for a period
stabilizer.
of time. But I've done that for quite a few lower
Improved
tiers
ventilation.
because it is, you know, like the CVS is useful for tier 8s and so on. So is binoculars. If you're happy to sit in a bush still and do the job of a light with binoculars, you get that extra reach. You really do. I think it's quite useful.
Yeah, that used to be standard loadout for my scout. I mean, it was for everybody. I used it much longer than most people.
Right.
I just, you know, I'd carry the camo and the binocs and get somewhere first, and that camo would kick off. You know, if you've got a light tank that's not like an ELC or Manicore where everyone has to drive within 50 to see you.
Yeah.
The camo net's huge for the bigger
Yeah.
lights. If
Yeah.
you can get it activated, it will really cover you up for much longer.
Gives you a little
Yeah.
all-round boost. In place of turbocharger, you can equip the mobility improvement system respectively to bolster your ride that bit more. Make sure you research field modifications to build up 2 loadouts for different maps. For example, the first would have coated optics, commander's vision system, and low noise exhaust.
Reasonable.
And the second would have ventilation, stabilizer, and gun rammer.
Also reasonable.
Yeah.
That way you'll feel right at home, whether you're playing on Prokhorovka or Himmelsdorf.
Again, using the Sheridan, as somebody mentioned, is pretty funny.
Yeah.
One of the worst light tanks in the
Set up
game.
our dream light tank and are eager to head into battle.
Dream light
What
tank.
can you do in battle? How can you contribute?
Was there a big repair in Little Med? That's awesome.
First, look at how many other lights are in your team.
Is it
and
Hitman?
where they're headed.
Really?
Scouts should
Whoa.
spread out across different positions and even flanks. In the first minutes of battle, do some initial spotting for your team.
This is great right here.
Really appreciate knowing how many opponents are on whichever flank.
There are four of your team right here shooting at guys crossing. This,
Of course they are.
although, to be fair, it looks like 2 of them are your platoon mates. So, okay. Looks like you know, hey, I'm going to spot from this bush. You guys set up and shoot. All right. And then 2 other guys liked it. But we have 5 of our team have done a very kind of coordinated event right here. Yeah.
Absolutely. Which
Shooting
happens
over
every
your
time
light,
we play that game. Yeah.
Shooting over your light is bad manners.
It is
To
bad
spot
manners, yeah.
enemy vehicles, you need to quickly get to a place that lets you see their approach route. To do that, you need to know the maps and remember the routes tanks take. It's safest to spot from bushes, but I came, I saw, I fled tactics can work too.
And then the Sheridan just YOLOs in. Now, I don't know how many guns are left in this game, but that's not a recipe for living very long where he's going right now, early
Take
game.
the time to remember how to rally drive.
No,
you
even
can
with
find a
move,
bush
even
and
with
spot from
camo
there.
activated
It's
on the
safer.
move, that is not.
Yeah.
If
That's not a
necessary,
happy
move
place
from
to be
bush
there.
bush,
That is
approaching
not.
or fleeing if there's danger.
No, I like this.
Light tank's non-reducing concealment comes in really handy for those short bursts. When you approach bushes, don't forget the proximity spotting circle. If you want to scout, you need to know about this. So how do we know where's the best to spot from?
Oh,
Look at where your teams and the enemy's light tanks are located, and remember the positions. For example, on steps, it's usually best to take a
but
central
then that's a
position.
standard for that map anyway, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah. Kind of showed him moving through the bush, so that's good.
yeah.
On Lakeville, you should be on the central line or near the town.
I didn't notice this
On
part.
mines, the bushes, both on the hill and in the water, are best. On Prokhorovka, you want the line of bushes on the alley or the hill if your team has enough lights on the alley. On Outpost, head for the bushes in the middle of the lake. Those are just a few of the well-known bushes, but all these maps
right.
offer light tanks
Yeah.
plenty of ways to play. Commit good positions to
I
memory
think that,
and
to
get
be
experiment.
fair, I know
Don't
we're
forget,
scoffing,
a
but to be
fell
fair, that's quite
tree is
informative.
as good as a bush.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Wow, they're showing that.
And you can fell them yourself with HE shells. Remember that the thorn in a light tank's side is another light tank. You can throw a spanner in the enemy's scouting works by spotting them and
Oh, wow.
destroying them. And you can stop them doing the same to you. Remember where you've seen enemy light tanks and think about how to beat them.
You-
Yeah, I mean, not even just new players, but there's going to be players that didn't understand that at all.
Yeah, and him shooting and not showing him moving, that's two
Yeah.
dead Manticores probably.
Yeah.
He was spotted once he shot, so he needed to either move or not shoot.
Is
Move.
only an option
Yeah.
on open maps. In urban locations without bushes, you'll have to come to the aid of mediums, dodge the enemy, and cause damage. Lights with auto
There you go.
motors or auto cannons are great at this. You can't go wrong with big damage in a short time. Although lights are very vulnerable, they can trade hits too, but carefully and with immaculate timing.
Immaculate
Firing
timing.
when the bushes spotted, think before
Of
letting
course.
that gun rip. Firing drops your concealment to scary loads. Make sure you have a strong exit strategy.
You can't play that tank like that. You cannot do that.
As promised, let's end with wheeled lights and how they
Well, maybe
differ
you can,
from
but-
versatile tracked ones. Vehicles in the EBR branch have a poor view range that stops them from scouting passively at a distance. But they
Sort
do
of.
have good concealment, high speed, and wheels
Yeah,
galore.
you'd be a dead tank straight
Even
away.
if
You
one
you
or
just wouldn't
several
survive
of
the
them are
battlefield,
damaged,
no.
you'll still be able to get about.
Oh, well,
That's why
rolling with the
wheeled lights
rolling
are
with the wheels
active
now.
Scout
Oh, here we go.
Supremos.
Wonky wheels.
They draw fire and dance under a storm of shells, lighting the enemy up in the process.
They're
In
gonna
the higher tiers,
talk about
wheeled
magic
lights
meals?
have two movement modes.
Well,
rapid
I want to see one
and
flip on
top
its side,
speed.
go backwards, and then do a
And
360.
cruise. In cruise mode,
'Cause that's
the
what they
tank
do all the
uses
time.
all its wheels to whirl like a dervish. These wheeled tanks pack penetrative HE shells that tear paper-thin enemies to shreds. Basically, wheeled tanks are very active, aggressive raiders. You'll need a very particular set of skills and practice to play in them.
Particular.
If you're less experienced, learn standard lights first. And that's it.
Oh,
Share this
Brutal.
video with a friend who can't last a minute in battle. See you on the battlefield.
share this video with a friend who can't last a minute in the Oh man. Yeah, they forgot to talk about the magic aim and the magic wheels, but they showed it. They just didn't mention that that's what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's all right. Not bad. 1281. What do you guys think?
It's gonna be an interesting update, I think.
Yeah, there wasn't much to it really, I guess, in my opinion. The two
There's a lot
new,
of background stuff going on with that one, you know.
yeah.
Maybe leading to something important.
Well, this is I'm talking about the one that just came out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, not the next one. This, where's the dumb thing? That's the preload I just clicked on. Where did the dumb? There it is. Beyond the Limits was its name. Have you played on the new maps, Pilgrim?
Not yet. No. Are they? Have you tried them?
I have. I've been on
The reworks?
Airfield a couple times, and I've been on Ensk a couple times.
Cool. What's Airfield like now? They
Completely different map. It's not even.
is
It's
it
just a new map.
cool?
Yeah. I mean, it's got sort of vaguely. It's reminiscent of Airfield. Well, that was what I wanted to talk about, Cliffy, because I find myself on both these maps really enjoying it as we figure it out. But of course, we know within 6 months or so, there'll be a meta that'll kind of lock down the places to go. Right now, it's kind of a free for all, and I find that to be
Changed
really
it that
fun.
much?
Oh yeah,
That means yeah. Okay, so obviously for me that's saying they've changed that enough that it's almost like a new map then.
there's a really, I would call it kind of stagnant, but right now there's so many different crossfire positions. Also Airfield specifically has that kind of cavern system in the very middle, kind of right there, the heavy position, and it's definitely interesting. You can really, there's a lot of side scraping and hold down, and you can actually change the angles a little bit because it's not just one tube, it's a couple directions you can go. I mean, it's very constricted, but there is some capabilities, at least right now, for moving around. I don't know how locked down that's going to get, but there's also pretty wide open space on both sides.
Okay.
One position for lights. They're both big as well. They're massive. They play much larger now, especially Ensk. Ensk is very much larger, and even Airfield to me always felt kind of constricted. There's so many now hills and things. There's a lot of ability on Airfield, for now anyway, to move from flank to flank if you're far enough back. Whereas it used to be really hard. You'd have to drive all the way to the back, and if somebody was on that middle hill, it was sometimes hard to even go anywhere. That's not true anymore. You can disengage from a flank.
I think certainly with light tanks carrying their camo on the move, that's definitely an improvement for light tank play. Even though there's probably not so many places a light tank can go and hang out, but on the move, I think it's a lot more room for maneuver, I would suggest.
And there's enough distance that you can then move out in the open and have enough camo to be able to move. And there's enough hills and things that even mediums and heavies can get away or at least fall back unless they're getting pressed real hard. Yeah, Airfield's changed so many times. Although it wasn't one of the more unbalanced maps based on stats. Like, we looked at that. I mean, it was pretty even. It wasn't very fun. But there you go. All tier 6s on Airfield. That actually sounds really fun.
Yeah, I was going to say that must have been a blast.
But I like the new maps because, so, as someone mentioned, and I was just talking about, it's fun to play a map you don't know and try to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where it's not locked down into a meta yet, and that will happen. But that's why I wish they would do more maps and changes so that freshness would continue. And it doesn't have to be every map all the time, but it's just really fun to try to figure new stuff out or have something changed.
Yeah.
And then you can apply in real time your knowledge of the mechanics without this complete knowledge of the map, and that just is interesting to me.
Well, that especially as light tank play, you then start to avoid the blind shots from the FVs and all the rest of it, so because people just don't know it. So that's more fun, especially as light tank game.
Yeah, Grendel, it was. Yep. Yeah. But it wasn't that imbalanced. We did talk about this several weeks ago. You know, here's the question: is the map fun? Is it balanced? Those aren't necessarily the same two things.
No, they're not. No.
When will they remove all bushes from the new Ensk? There are a lot of bushes on the new Ensk, especially out in the field position. That I've been out, so I've done both because I played the XM57. I've had a couple games where I took a heavy and a XM57 into town on Ensk, and a couple where I've had mediums and lights, and I went out into the field, and even over to the island. I don't know how useful the island really is, although I was getting a lot of side shots on people. I wasn't really controlling the battle. Other people would light them, and I'd get shots. So I don't know. But yeah, Ensk is pretty cool. They're completely different maps. Ensk is vaguely the same in the city. Otherwise, it's completely different. Completely different. So it's almost like two completely new maps, which I thought was really interesting, based off of old maps. And I don't know why they wouldn't just make new maps. But there you go. So we had that go on. What else did we get? We got a rebalance with some TDs. Yeah, that did just happen. Okay, so the whole so some of the stats for these TDs are from the old version. We'll see what happens in a couple months. Right now, the whole Read 3 is still near the top, but we'll see what goes on there. Neon Dash, we talked about. So I was sort of excited about the commendation system. The problem with this thing is it's only in-game. Why would they do that?
I don't know. That flummoxed I am.
Exactly. Why on earth would you not be allowed to do it after the game? You can only do one person per, I think.
Yeah.
Random battles. You can give and receive only one. Oh, only during battle. You can command each ally once per battle. Okay. So maybe to some extent they're trying to limit people spamming commendations, and I suppose you could try to farm them if you had a platoon, or I don't know. That, you know, gamers figure all this shit out. For now, I don't. First of all, I don't know how many accommodations I have. It doesn't appear to show anywhere. Has anyone found that?
No. Cliffy could send multi in the same game.
So it's not the impossible dream. All you got to do is right-click their name. But dude, I'm busy playing the daggum game.
Yeah, I was about to say that. If you're game playing, you're not going to be focused on how to give
Yeah.
somebody a pat on the back.
And sure, if you got time or whatever, you knock it out and do your thing. I get it. It's, you know, it's just moving a mouse and whatnot. And you're not always busy. But that being said, I'm playing the game. I'd rather be able to do it after the game on the results thing.
Yeah, exactly that.
Only the post.
Only in the post-game report. Okay.
Really? Did not know that. Maybe I've never been commended. I certainly haven't noticed it. I did commend somebody once in game just to check it out and see how. Plus, they'd done something cool, so I commended them, which was great. And I'm okay with it. But it begs a lot of questions. What's the point?
Yeah.
Why can't I have a? Why is it not in my stats? What is it going to get me at some point, if anything? Agreed, Kedge. There appears to be no point. One must assume that they built it with a point. And I realize
Well,
I'm making
you-
the ass out of you and me right here.
Instead of assuming, then let's assume something completely stupid, that they want us all to feel good about playing the game. Like,
Yeah?
okay. Because somebody went, well done, Pilgrim. Well done. That was a good shot. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well done, you.
The dog tags.
Yeah.
Forgot about the dog tags.
Yeah. What? Why aren't they still in the game? Yeah, Gunnar Schumann. That's what we want. The middle finger.
There's so many things like that in this game. Somebody, I don't know if it was a Reddit post or if it was on the Discord, on our Discord, but somebody mentioned, might have been a Reddit post, somebody mentioned that they were playing, I think, the Mana Core of the ELC, and they were trying to do missions, and they never got Prokofka in 100 battles.
God, crikey.
Or maybe
How
amount.
bad?
And I went, that's weird. I mean, that doesn't seem possible. And they listed it off, and somebody said, do you have the special events turned off?
Ah, yeah.
So there's so many things like that in this
Wow.
game. You know, if he went in there and turned off special events, apparently that turns off, or at least it limits the amount severely
It's the amount number of maps you're going to see.
right. Because I think you can get Prokofka without events, but you just limited the versions with events that are going to be in the queue, so you don't get those. Yeah.
That is a good point. So there's a lot of stuff like that about excluding maps.
Just all the things you can turn on and off,
yeah.
and what
Yeah, yeah.
what the cascading effects of doing that are on what you get
Absolutely.
and things you
That is a
see
good
and all
point.
that stuff.
That is such a good point, yeah.
All right, so yeah, commendations, and that's it. Onslaught, and then we've got Frontline, like you said, on April 28th, which is tomorrow. Looks like April's gone already now.
It's crazy, isn't it? This year is just going too fast.
I don't remember the last time I saw Encounter on Proc, to be honest with you, Grindel. I have that turned on. I don't think I've seen an Encounter Proc. I have no idea how long it's
Well,
been.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. Normally, Encounter is that one. I've not seen a prop. Normally, in fact, on Encounter, I very rarely see a wide open map. Most of the Encounter maps I get are the closed off ridgeline type maps. I mean, I've got it turned off on EU. I just play the standard maps on EU. Or standard game, sorry.
Did they change their map thing here on tomato.gg? What am I looking at? How come I'm not getting the tank stats? Is it map insights? Why is this the same? Or am I not? Tank stats. Oh, because for some reason this page has decided to stop working. Okay. Okay. Oh, Oh, that's meta, not map insights. I want maps. Oh, that's different now. Dang it! Why did they do this? What am I looking for? I wish they had that old version of it.
That's true, Gator. It's very true when you've got all the three different modes of map turned on that you know exactly that 90% of your team haven't realised it's encounter because they're exactly in the same positions as they would do for a standard map. And you're like, hello. Anybody not notice this is encounter then?
I don't like this new
That is so true.
sorting. Huh. This sucks. What does this win rate mean? Oh, from that spawn. Oh my gosh, what a pain in the arse. So if I... Alright, so what are we looking for? We're looking for proc. Random. This must... Oh, okay, spawn 1, spawn 2. Alright, got it. Ah, that's such a pain. Holy cow. Spawn 2. Well, that might be why you don't see very much of it. Looks like a complete shit show. Whatever. That they changed that. That's less useful than it used to be by miles. Did tanks.gg have maps? No. Wow, that's a bummer. That used to be a really good setup, and now it's useless. That's crazy. All right. Yeah, they changed it. It's not useful unless I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Used to have each map showed up, and then you got some basic data about it, and then you could click on it and expand it. Now it's in that list. Like, that's freaking useless to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just required a bunch more digging around. I don't want to do. That's on them and their free website that I don't pay them a dime for.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I like the new maps so far. Not bad, not bad. That's 1.8. Let's see what else is going on in the news. We got a TBT, a tier 9 Czech heavy tank with an autoloader, of course.
Yeah.
Sure. 3 pieces of 500 alpha at tier 9.
500 alpha. Am I reading that wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
Good grief.
Yeah, Cliffy, tell them their new layout for the map stats is dumb. Yeah, that's kind of wild, isn't it? But 3 seconds between shells, so it's not like it's coming at you super fast. Still, 3 seconds for another 500 alpha.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, bang.
So 8 seconds, 9 seconds to get out 1,500 damage.
But if
Oh, wait.
for some reason-
Sorry, 2 pieces. Why did I read 3? All right, so there's only 2. All right, so 2 500s.
Okay. All right, slightly different. I was going to say that's like written a type. I mean, you only need to be tracked, and you're a dead man, aren't you?
That's one of the longer reloads, though, for a 2 shell reloader. 34 seconds. That does take a while.
That is a long time, isn't it?
-7 gun depression. Does 36. Got 240 turret. 130 armor or hull. Pretty good. So that's that guy. What else we got? Here's that thing, the EU. Like you said, you got the 114 and the Chieftain piece. Some tier 9s now for sale there. I wonder if that's going to come to NA. Not so far. Frontline tomorrow. The Chisei, a natural successor to the tier 5 to 7 Japanese medium tanks. But it's a heavy.
Okay.
So how? I guess historically they're talking about. This is a premium, I guess.
It's got to be on it.
Yeah. 300 alpha.
Yeah.
Anything special about it? 220 pins, okay for standard. 255, a little bit low. Reloads 8 seconds. Dispersion 0.37. Oh, -13 gun depression. What? What? Why?
Find the ridge line. Find the ridge line.
That is what she said, Grandel. That is what Chisei said.
I know what I'm doing with that tank.
I like that. That's fantastic, Grendel. That's this one's That's this
Like
one's
going around
nickname.
it.
This one's Nick's nickname. This one's Nick's
Nick's
Nick.
name?
Oh, I can't talk. Is Chisei. Sorry, no, that's what. None of that made any sense. I just spoke for about 20 seconds and made not one word.
No, it was just complete babbling,
Not
wasn't it? You were
not
babbling.
sense made word.
Gobbledygook. You were
Oh,
babbling.
that was the definition of gobbledygook. The gobbling and the gooking. Oh, that was terrible. All right. So 300 to alpha, minus 13 for no reason.
That is that angle. That is crazy.
How does this turret go minus 13?
I don't know. It must stick out the top of the commander's cupola.
Yeah. It's like the Manicore video I had where it was sticking through its own hole.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so it's got good mobility for heavy tank, 38 and 14 back. 14 back is quite good. What's its armor? We have 200
Hey.
turret and 135 hull. Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, you are just going to sit in a ridgeline and snipe with that, really, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's look at. Does it have some kind of weird mechanic? The feature is its excellent gun depression and elevation angles, minus 13 plus 20, allowing it to dominate in a wide variety of positions.
Say?
It's well suited for medium and long distance combat, where its superior gun depression and relatively crappy dispersion of 0.37. Okay, I don't know.
I mean, you can probably massage that down a little bit with the crew skills, all the rest of it. So
Is that how you give it a special mechanic without giving it a special mechanic? You just randomly give it a minus 13 gun depression?
just like you can. 'Cause you
That's right. The barrel looks. It's like those guns they have that go around the corner.
Fire on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assembly shop we saw. What are you? Don't care. The Kronvon. Are they gonna? Ooh, they're gonna buff the Kronvon.
Oh.
Oh! Oh no, RU. RU is basically getting rid of the nerfs to the Kronvon. At least some of them. They're buffing the Kronvon.
They really need to bring the Cranban back into the game.
That's funny.
Right now, it's out of the game.
But it's so hard to buff a tank like that. All the super hold down tanks. I mean, you buff them and all of a sudden now they're overpowered.
Yeah.
Crazy. Let's see. We talked about that. Assemble. RU. There was something further back here. A couple of things I wanted to look at. All the assembly shop garbage. The MBTB has been decided, and it's going to be in loot boxes.
Oh.
That's a tier 10.
Really?
That's a tier 10, by the way.
Yeah. Are we talking Christmas?
That's a tier 10. That's all I'm saying. Have we ever had a?
We're going to get an awful lot of new players running around at tier 10 in them.
I don't think there's been a tier 10 in loot boxes. Arbor Day loot boxes, maybe, Wayne. Anyway, this is a leak or whatever. According to their information, the decision has been finalized. Tier 10 promotional, 6-shell autoloader with 3-shell clip. Oh my gosh. The Chieftain Killer. It's a Chieftain Killer because the Chieftain's still part of the game, really, except it hasn't been since it got nerfed. So, originally it was planned for a massive event, which ultimately didn't make it into World of Tanks. And they're apparently not talking about personal missions, but loot boxes.
Do you know this is just pure money making, because so many people want to buy a tier 10 premium. So
I don't even know.
Boxes up the yin yang.
Like, how much are loot boxes going to cost, Pilgrim, that have a tier 10 in them?
See, that's the point, isn't it? And will it have the 50 box magic button?
Well, and
All
remember
that lot.
the reports, and it didn't come to NA or EU, but it has been in China, of the tiered box system.
Yeah.
where you had to
That's right.
get like something in tier 8 before you could unlock possibly getting a tier 9 kind of thing. However that worked,
Yeah.
the stair stepping tiered box mess. Makes me wonder if that's what this is all about.
Crikey.
We shall see. Some new vehicles have been kicking around. I saw some of this on Reddit. We've got the Chieftain Mark 6, which we discussed a couple weeks ago. The MBTB looks like it's been played on both EU and NA. So probably the Quickie Babies, top level
Yeah.
tier CCs and the employees. The
Right.
GST term. This one I saw a picture of somebody with a after game card, and it showed this Velociraptor, Versatiriorix or whatever. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tanks. A 10, a 10, an 8, a 9, and a 9.
Yeah.
Flagged as release ready.
I think this is just like plucking it out of thin air. There's an awful lot of tier 8 upwards offers for different types of tanks coming out now because they understand that the player base they currently have is so far advanced that most people are not, are not going to be interested in a tier 3, 4, 5. You know? And
Yep.
so to make money, they're aiming at now what the player base. I mean, the player base is what, 14 years old now. So even with new players, there won't be enough new players coming in to counteract. So all these offers are sitting at tier 8 and upwards. So it almost seems like, as a financial decision, makes sense to do tier 10 things in boxes because that's where the game is.
Yeah.
That's where we as players are.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So all the Rubicons keep getting passed, keep getting crossed. Schwertal. This is the German tank with the rockets, of course. Hopefully, it's got like minus 27 gun depression. We have, those are for sale, Neon Dash. There's also this thing kicking around, the Tier 8 Czech Premium, that's more an armored version, vice the Shrek. So we know that one's a bit out there. Here's a Czech Tier 9 Premium Twin Barrel Medium. Great. Now we got Twin Barrel Mediums. Great. Good. Awesome. Holy cow. Yeah, Brute, minus 69. Erlenberg is maybe getting some work. Don't know if it requires. This is another map that they've changed a bunch. Erlenberg?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Okay, so they see the top one there with the little castle?
Oh yeah.
Big castle.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Big castle. Huh.
That's playable. That in all of that, isn't it?
That's wild. I guess you can play it and it's not just a big block in the middle of everything.
No.
Oh, yes, it is. The next one down, you can see that there's ways into it. Side scraping heavy brawl. Looks like the city then is going to be Sideshow Alley. The city's no longer the thing. Yeah, that's a big old rework right there. Okay. Yeah. Castle, top view. They've opened up the city a bit down here, and the castle's kind of the fight. Huh. Uh-oh. Agent Orange.
Ah, yeah.
The trees all died. I am died.
Nothing there at all now. Not even a spindly little bush.
Yeah, those TD positions, not that people use them a whole bunch, but they're gone. Mostly. There's still some bushes there, but it's not nearly as bushed as it was. All right, what's going on the other side here? We've got, what am I looking at? Oh, this is the back. No. What am I looking at here?
We've got guys asking if they can have a coffee break.
Oh.
They're running out of coffee.
Oh, shoot. Good call. Yeah, we forgot. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We'll come back to this. Everyone's eyes are floating. Their eyeballs are... All right, 5 minutes. We'll be right back. We just got going, man.
We did.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido, to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell, to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man, to teach his wisdom and pay his due. A man with a name only known to a few. To his followers his words are true. Guido is the man, big and gruff. He used to fly jets, but now he does the tanking stuff. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. The mountains are home where he watches the moose and hummingbirds aplenty. But he saw the need for the Watt community to have a guru and lead them gently. Down the road to Unicom land will die, trying hard in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido.
All right, fellas, we are back, and as always, I'm going to have to shut it down and bring it back so I can get my camera back. So give me un momento. Right back. All right, we are back. I have a new coffee. I did go into overtime. I held Pilgrim hostage. So back to the Erlenberg stuff here. This is the back is what I'm looking at here. The weird thing is they've come at it from two different angles. This isn't making sense to me because there's way more trees. This must be both after pictures, fellas. Because this makes no sense. There's so many more trees along here than this. So that's not a before. That has to be another after picture, don't you think? On the top one, what do you think? It says before, but this is all trees up in here right now. And this looks like the same. Well, I don't know, maybe. Hard to tell. Yeah, it seems like two. Wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. What? 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 Before, after, before. Oh, I think they mixed these two up. Yeah, they mixed these. These are both the befores from two different angles. That's what they did. And these are both the afters from two different angles. They just screwed up the before and after thing. So this is what it looks like after. They've denuded. Once again, they've taken this TD spot like they did on the other side, and they turned it into this. Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, here you go. Here's the correct before after. All right, here's the hill. Trees all gone. Great. Like, what's a scout going to do on this map now? That's hilarious. It's hard enough for a light tank to have anything to do on this map right now. Did they do something with the hill in the middle, I hope? This is horrible. I never really find this position up here to be that good anyway. If you're winning, it can be. It's a great place to snipe if everything's going well. This looks a little more usable for heavies and mediums to sort of side scrape and push and go hold down. Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, this is terrible for scouts, I think, on a map that's already terrible for scouts. So that probably means the next pictures we're going to get are the stuff behind there. Before afters, okay. Looks like there's actually a few more bushes up here, but good luck using that without the other scout countering you. Yeah, there's a few more trees and stuff up here now. Whatever that's worth. All right, here's the other sniper position. Yep. Trees are gone. They gone. Yep. Oof. Wow. Holy cow, they just completely clear cut this map. I like the concept of town, but the meta has metastasized, and that hold down position behind the rubble isn't worth anything anymore. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Yeah, they cleared this corner out too pretty good. So the one side of the river didn't get changed a whole bunch. Significant change though. All right, enough of that. We'll see. Super test stuff. Super test. What else we got? There's a bonus for returning inactive players. It's not a whole bunch. I don't know what these cupcakes are. This must be old. I don't suppose this is true anymore because I think the cupcake thing is done with. Or is that store still up? Let me see. Onslaught, what? Yeah, I think that store's gone, so it doesn't really matter. Special offers. Oh, here's an interesting one. Anybody get caught up in the Million Pugs thing? So apparently, Million Pugs is going down. Users locked out. Oof. Did that cost money? Was that a monthly? Was that a monthly thing? Concerning details about Million Pugs that might indicate something shady is going on. Something's going down, fellas. Hopefully your credit card info is okay. Oh, dude. That always seemed a little cheesy. But of course, all those things start off a little cheesy even when they're successful. That's Chinese Spring loot boxes, a referral program, and I think that was all of the news there. Beyond Limits, we know that. Neon Dash, we know that. There's yet another premium, a tier 9 Czech medium tank. Is this one we've looked at? No, yeah, it is. This is the medium with the twin gun. Here's another. That's console, never mind. Chinese loot boxes in April. Are they going to have an MBT? We don't know. And that's all old info there. So that's all the news that's fit to print, and a lot of it that isn't. All the news. I don't like small dogs other than Jack Russell's. I do not like small dogs either, man. Grendel, I'm with you. It's not a hate thing. I don't care for them, I guess, is a better way to say it. Don't like sounds mean, but I definitely don't care for little dogs. Medium to large, preferably large. Not super giant, though. I don't want Marmaduke. You don't care about a Million Pugs? Okay. I got to see what you did there. Corgis, the head dog. Those dogs are mostly cranium. 40 pounds, yeah. Mine's 75. She's right at the I would say what I would call the lower edge of a big dog. Big ones being, 100 pounds. Any under 50 is basically a cat, and cats are useless. Ron Swan. That's right. I never pass up a Parks and Rec, especially if it's a Ron Swanson one. But I never pass up a Parks and Rec clip. I don't pass up The Office, Seinfeld, or Parks and Rec. Those are the three. If there's a clip from one of those shows, I never pass it up. And I actually never watched Parks and Rec. Actually, that's one I could go binge watch from the beginning because I've seen a lot of it, but I haven't actually sat down and watched it. Fixing the in-game comparison tool. Is that part of Watt Plus? Or you're talking about this thing down here? What's wrong with it? This thing? Parks and Rec is not that good. The first season. What's wrong with the comparison tool, Grendel? I haven't heard anything about it either way. So there was actually... hold on. Give me a second here. There was, I thought... Beyond Limits must have passed by. Or maybe I didn't get to it. There was a video which was a September 2025 gameplay video. And it was just a bog standard advertisement for the game, but it said September 2025 gameplay, and it didn't indicate that anything strange or amazingly new was going to happen. Well, Grendel, yeah, because they Sometimes the numbers are slightly off because I don't remember what exactly it is. It's something like the comparison tool always has a crew in it with 100% commander, which gives the commander bonus, I think, is the deal. Oh, way off? Yeah, I don't know, man. What's way off, though? The comparison tool? The website? I don't know. Wish I remembered where that dumb video came from. Might have seen it on Reddit. I don't remember. And it's not a big deal, but essentially, it just didn't seem like there was anything in that video that indicated there was anything crazy going to happen in September. It just showed the tanks and gave a bunch of stuff about World of Tanks, and you play 30v30 PvP, and it was a bog standard advert. Yeah, Cliffy. I think they just they do that by just giving the actually it doesn't show it on this, does it? Some of them are down here, but they don't show the conditional stuff. You're right. There's a lot more than there used to be, though, especially with all these salvo mode and rapid mode and all the different things that some tanks have and others don't have. You'll get the conditional stuff over here on the right side, though. All these things right here will sort of say when. Mentor. That's weird. I don't have do I have firefighting? Maybe I do. Oh, I do have it. Repair speed, ammo, right, and all that crap. Yeah, crew. Yeah, there's so many. There's so many, and they interact in different ways, you know? It's hard to keep track of, to be honest. Especially when you're trying to do a video and comment on it. You guys catch me all the time, which is good, because I can't think of every damn possible thing when I'm watching something on the screen and something happens. The amount of possibilities of crew, field mods, equipment, consumables, crew, field mods, equipment, consumables. What else? I think those are the four main things, maybe. The combos of all that stuff on exactly what happened in any one situation, it gets crazy. Directives, forgot directives. Good call. There are directives as well. There's 4 kinds of equipment. There's directives that modify equipment or skills. Yeah, equipment or skills. There's different ammo, which has different rules. There's kits, which actually help things, because doesn't the large kit increase? No, just lower stun duration and crew protection. I thought it also made stuff. Oh wait, no, that's the repair. Yeah, plus 10% to module repair speed. There's the module repair speed. I mean, it goes on, man. Holy cow. I don't understand using small kits, even if you don't have a lot of money. So this is plus 10 to module repair speed. What does a small kit give you? Nothing. See, that to me, that's the benefit of the large kits. Plus you get a stun duration help. And you get so that's just with the large first aid kit, you're getting injured less. I mean, it's plus 15%, so it's not massive, but you're going to use less of them right off the bat because you're being protected a little bit more. So that helps. It's kind of like the fire extinguisher. Although I don't use those anymore because I now use food. But with at least use an automatic fire extinguisher if you're going to use it, because you get less fires. So you're going to use less kits right off the bat. Well, not many people get stunned, because for me, I immediately hit the... I wish, not when I'm playing artillery and trying to do a mission, but I would really love it, just to be pithy, that when you used your kit to stop the stun, it stopped the guy from getting those stun points. But it doesn't, unfortunately. Don't they decrease the amount? Yeah, minus 10% to the chance of engine fire. Well, do much, I suppose, but 10% less. That makes me wonder, though, minus 10% to your percent or minus 10%? So if I have a 20% chance engine, does it drop it to 10? Let's find out. So where's my engine chance? What is this tank? All right, the Ho-Ri 1. Let's just do XM57. That's not what I want. How do I figure that out? What's the engine fire chance? Where can I find that on this thing? Huh. Can I even figure that out? No, that's not it. Can I do it from the configure? Will it tell me on the configure? Where's my engine fire chance? Survivability. Huh. It's not there, is it really? Configuration. Oh, here we go. Here's how I do it. Engine. All right, 20% chance of fire. Oh wait, apply. Still shows 20%. Minus 10% to the chance of an engine fire. So again, minus 10% chance of an engine fire. This showed 20, it still shows 20. So either at 10%, one would assume that would show 18% or 10%, depending on which way they're doing it. Well, that's what I'm saying, Grendel. So is it 10% of the 20%? Or is it 10% less, meaning 10% chance of fire? No indication here because it still shows a 20%. And if we highlight that, the parameter shows the chance engine fire when it is damaged. Who knows? Yeah, I think you're right, Cliffy. So I guess probably going from 20% to 18%. Or whatever the base number, 10% from the base number that gets it to 20. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know. I have no idea. But it is arguably less
does it? Tanks.gg shows the fire chance. So we go to XM57. Is it on the specific tanks that we're doing this with? Alright, so everything else. Mobility, weaponry. Engine health, 20. Is it in this area, or do I have to look at something else? Fire chance, 20%. Right. So let's do this then. There you go, 18%. So it was 10% of 20%. Minus 10% from the 20%, so it drops it to 18. Probably not a massive boost, but a little bit. Oh, it's kind of behind my picture there, but that's what it shows. All right, that's good to know. This is actually a more useful way to do it, isn't it? Is there anything else I can do to help? No, that just helps repair time. I never use this. I probably should. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything here anyway. I guess there's a fire. Nope, that doesn't help. Just makes it faster, I guess. I don't think there's anything else that can help here. Do vents help? No. Makes it faster though, doesn't it? I don't think there's any equipment that really helps it. Oh, actually, maybe this modification dude. Oh, look at that. Dropped it to 9. There you go. If you really hate fires, get yourself an automatic fire extinguisher. Improved. How you doing? That doesn't help. Yeah, tanks.gg I think probably has a little more of the math background, and it's closer to reality for these things. So it gets you down to 9%. I think that's all the equipment that helps, though. I don't think any of this other. These are all. Yeah, suspension and shit. Is there anything else that would help? I don't think so. Well, you could go super powerful. Oh, maybe these things do. Wait a minute. Let's go. All right, let's get rid of. We'll leave that. What do we put? How about survival? No. How about? This only has 3. It doesn't have the 4th one on here yet. That's weird. Look at that. Doesn't have the 4th type of experimental on it. But survival equipment doesn't do anything for fires. That's not helpful. But we could change this guy. Is there an improved? There's at least a bounty version. I don't think there's even. There's not an improved version of it. Yes, there is. Boom. What do we get? 5%. Got it down to 5% fire. There. That's what you do if you really hate fires. Get yourself an improved configuration. Improved configuration? What's it called? Improved configuration. All right. And then up here it's called modified. Oh, gotcha. Modified configuration. That appears to be the lowest fire chance you can get, from what I can tell. Not driving it. Good point. If you never drive it, it won't light on fire. It's like an airplane. If you don't fly it, it won't break. which is not actually true. If you don't fly it, it will break and it won't be ready when you want to fly it. But it won't break from flying. That's the key. Reduces 1 shot in 50. Oh, crew skills. Are there any crew skills that help? Let's see. Crew skills that might help. Is it engineer? Controlled impact. I don't think there's crew skills that help. Let's get firefighting. That's just speed, right? Yeah. Select all skills. We'll find out. No, nothing mattered. We go get gave them all, and nothing helped. That's a cool little tool. I like that. I haven't messed with this too much. Yeah, I'll let you pick the right ammo. Sweetness. Type 59 is made of kindling. I get lit on fire a lot, to be honest with you. But I've been playing that LKPZ, so it's a light tank, so that's not very surprising. You get hit by the large caliber guns that have good module damage. There was a driver skill in the past, yeah. I selected them all and it didn't seem to do anything, so. From what I can tell, that's the best anti-fire protection you can get is some. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's. I think fires are edge case enough that using that slot for the improved modification or whatever it's called, improved configuration is probably really not. You'd have to really hate fires to use that other than something else, I would say. Well, all right, fellas. I appreciate everybody coming by, man. We're going to find somebody to raid. That is all I've got for today. Let's see who is out there. Oh, they got the OLS thing going on in 5 minutes, or maybe now, potentially. Watch that because it has drops. I missed out on them last week. Somehow I turned off the tab when I went out and didn't realize it until it was already over. Skill issue. Oh, Brute, see you, man. You up for Monday? We'll go raid Milepost 202. Old fella. Appreciate you guys coming by. Thanks for the follows and the sub, man. Much appreciated. Got a couple in there. I know I missed them. Let me see. Odd Dog's got a 20 stream streak right on. Jimmy with the resub. Thank you. My BMW with the follow. Zemke resubbed, and that was 2 weeks ago. So thanks. Appreciate all those. Oh, those all did not show up. Somebody else, I think. Somebody else resubbed. Thank you, Cliffy. You rock. Awesome, awesome. All right, cool. Well, Brute, I'll see you on Monday. Hopefully maybe I'll get some time to make a new scenario. We'll see. We should go back to the OCA one maybe and give that a try. Hopefully Slick can make it too. So we're going to go with Milepost here. Milepost 202. Oh, that's right. You're off till July. Forgot about that. How's the knee doing, man? Better? Natso's going in on Wednesday. He's been limping around here like he's 90 million years old. Yeah, he's looking forward to getting that thing done with. Very welcome, Zimbo. Thank you. All right, let's start this raid. Get you guys going. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. I've actually got to go render a few videos, so I'm ready for the week, and then I've got some yard work to do. Ect. You guys have a fantastic day. See ya.